So me and the rest of the Grammy U members are in line, waiting to go inside for the Grammys. I think everyone's really excited to go, so hopefully we'll get in there soon.
Just a little bit about Grammy U. So it's a program for college students that want to be immersed in the music industry while they're in school. We do various events throughout the semester, throughout school years. So we do like sound checks, master classes, panel series with professionals in the industry. And overall, it's just meant to give students exposure to exactly what the music industry is about.
I think that the most interesting thing about you is you and your experience. So when I started writing songs, it was more like I really wanted to write songs and I tried to make it sound like other people's songs, and then people started liking me more when I started telling the truth about my life.
I just always wanted to be a songwriter. At first I thought I had to be like, I don't know, I had to like get in here a certain way other than being a songwriter, and then I realized I could just be a songwriter, and I was like, dope.
Work on being the best artist or creator that you can be. Take your time with it.
What's up? It's Linda Perry. Grammy U, the Recording Academy, is kind of taking my show hostage. The first thing I would say, I love this track.
Just hustle and become a master. And like the only thing that stops you is yourself.
I want to do everything I can to help these young people have an edge.
I'm definitely all about the pay it forward, and I would not be where I'm at today had people not paid it forward to me, so that's why I'm a part of the mentorship program.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Taylor Parks, and welcome to this Grammy U Masterclass.
I think it's a combination of working and learning from your job, your current job, and everything around you, and getting to know yourself so well that when that thing just seems to pop up by magic, you're just ready to say yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today for our 2021 Grammy U Virtual Conference.
We're so excited to have our Grammy U members tuning in from chapters all across the country, including
Atlanta,
Chicago,
Florida, Los Angeles,
Nashville,
New Orleans,
New York,
Memphis,
Philly,
Pacific Northwest,
San Francisco,
Texas,
Washington, D.C.,
here without you guys wouldn't be here without me, I wouldn't be here without you. We're all connected though, so we gotta do it together. Otherwise, we fall together. If we win together.
Grammy U and me.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hello, my name is Jessie Allen. I am the director of Grammy U. Thank you, everyone, for being here. For those of you watching at home or anyone who may not know, Grammy U is our program at the Recording Academy for students who are studying music or pursuing a career in music. And we have all sorts of amazing opportunities, professional development, our mentorship program, and more. So if you're interested in joining, you can go to GrammyU.com or follow us on all of our socials at Grammy U. So before we get started today with this amazing event, I want to thank a few people. First, we have to give it up for all the Grammy U representatives from across the country. They worked tirelessly to produce this for you, from the conception to the execution, and they are your champions here, so thank you, all of you, so much. I also want to thank Tammy Hurt, our Recording Academy Chair of the Board of Trustees. She's given us constant support for Grammy U and all that we do, and we're just so thankful for everything she does for us. I also want to give a shout out to Rico Love, who is our Recording Academy Vice Chair. Rico Love came in this year with amazing opportunities to expand the Grammy U program and create access for students everywhere. And with that, we are doing an HBCU tour launching this month at Howard University. And we are working on getting more students at HBCUs all over the country. So thank you, Rico, for that. I also want to thank all of our elected leaders and members for your constant support of Grammy U through mentorship programs, being on panels. We really couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. We have over 1,000 mentors a year because of you. So thank you. Next, I want to thank some of our Academy leadership. Our CEO, Harvey Mason Jr., and our co-presidents, Felicia Butterfield Jones and Panos Panay. You're always believing in the power and importance of the Grammy U program, and your commitment to the future leaders of the music industry is shown every day through all that you do. Some more people to thank. I'm sorry, it takes a village, so I have to thank the village. So our Senior VP of Partnerships and Business Development, Adam Roth, thank you for being an amazing partner on this program. I also want to give a shout out to Hannah Park for all of the artwork that you see here. We were joking, this is basically her art installation today. And Shelly Marie, who is our Music Video Awards genre manager, who really worked closely with me to make this happen and shine a light on the music video category. So thank you, Shelly. All right, we're wrapping up here. So HyperX Arena, we gotta give a shout out to you because this is an amazing venue, isn't it? So thank you. And then of course, how could we end our thanks without thanking our collaborators, Mastercard. So thank you, Aaron Staples and Sean O'Neill. Your dedication to bringing this vision to life so that we can highlight these amazing women working in music and shine a light on underrepresented sectors of the industry. It really just changed everything that we're doing here with Grammy Week, and we're so thankful for that. And your commitment to the students watching today is front and center through all of our work together, and we truly appreciate your partnership. So now, I think you guys are ready to get this going, right? So without further ado, I want to bring in our Grammy U champion, our Chief Awards and Industry Officer at the Recording Academy, Miss Ruby Marchand.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Jessie Allen, the best. Jessie, you are an amazing, absolutely amazing leader of Grammy U. We're all here because of Jessie's vision. It's so magnificent. So Grammy U reps, welcome. I know you're here from all over the country. We also have people here from Las Vegas, so welcome to this incredible masterclass celebrating the power of video. How many of you are thinking of a career in video, just out of curiosity? All right. I see a lot of hands going like this, so that's great. This is going to be an event where you're going to learn so much more about what that is. And here's a little pop quiz. So you may know there are 86 Grammy Awards. Can you guess which category has the highest number of entries this year from the music community? It's a trick question. You all know why we're here. Music video, absolutely, yes. So of 86 categories this year, music video has the most entries. That's because it's electric, it's magnetic, and that's why we're here today. It is my honor to be able to introduce this program, which, as you know, is going to feature the one and only Hannah Lux Davis, who's one of the most innovative music video creators on the planet. She's also an exemplary role model and is someone who is paving the path and guiding the future of music video around the world. So this is a unique opportunity for us all to learn from Hannah. Really exciting. Now, one of the many features of this program today is that we have 3 award winners. We actually have the contest winners for Grammy U, chosen by the reps, who made their own student videos, and they were curated and chosen by Grammy U reps as representative of the best in the country. So I would like to congratulate Manu Beker. Yeah. Kai, and Saint Monet, all three of them. And they're here representing three of our chapters, New York, Nashville, and Los Angeles. I know there are reps from those chapters here. It's fantastic. So, who's going to moderate? Well, we are lucky, we are fortunate, we are blessed to have the chapter president of our Florida chapter, who is a renowned music video director in her own right, Milcho, who will be our moderator today. Before I finish, I want to say that it's absolutely amazing to see the evolution of music video happening right before our very eyes. And thanks to your participation, thanks to the young honorees that we're here to celebrate today, we're going to take it one step further. So let's get started. I am delighted to introduce Milcho.
I have my own mic, and it's not this one. Grammy U, are you ready for this? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't. This is so much fun, and it's so important. Grammy U is everything. My career is what it is today thanks to everyone who mentored me. I chased people down the street to mentor me. It's so important to be a mentor and to be a mentee. So you, as a mentee today, make sure you're a mentor tomorrow, because we need each other, okay? Alone, we go fast. Together, we go further. And we're here for the long run, okay? So let's get this going. All right, guys. Hannah Lux Davis is an award-winning filmmaker from Seattle, known for her attention to detail, striking imagery, and iconic vision. At 18, she attended the New York Film Academy and the LA Film School to pursue her dream of directing and editing pop videos. With her blend of glam meets grit, she's become one of the go-to directors for the new generation. Hannah's music videos have been recognized with numerous awards, with 24 MTV VMA nominations, broken both YouTube and Vivo records for most views within 24 hours. That's bananas. Fastest video to 100 million views with the release of the Thank You Next music video. Give it up, make some noise for Hannah Lux Davis. Woo! Guys, take pictures of us, please. We are both so hot.
So hot. Wow, look at her.
It's
Stunning.
ridiculous. Look at this. It doesn't get better than this.
Oh, thank you.
And tag us, and we share it, and then when you share it back, and then we do that for a long time. And that's how we work around here. I'm so stoked.
I'm so happy to be here. This is so fun.
How do you
It's so
feel?
great that we're honoring music videos. Yeah, music videos are the best. So excited to be here.
You know, this is such a privilege, guys, because you're going to be hearing some really cool stuff today. And take notes, and I'm sure you're not going to forget, and implement it in your own version, okay? Because that's the whole point of today, is that you guys walk out of here super pumped, super inspired, and and opening a bunch of channels that let in all these new ideas for you guys to do your own thing. So, tell me, girl, when was that moment where you said, dude, I need to be a director. I need to be a filmmaker. What was the inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like we said, I grew up in the heyday of music videos with TRL. It was back when I would like race home from the school bus and like see what was on TRL. That's how we knew what was cool. That's how we knew what music was fun and hot and poppin'. And that's how we saw our artists. Back then, it wasn't like there was no Instagram, there was no social media, there was no YouTube. Like if you wanted to see what Britney Spears was doing, you had to watch TRL. And it was just such a fun, time to sort of like, I was so impressionable. I was in my early teens, and music videos that had a huge impact on me growing up. I also kind of grew up in the era of Jackass. And so those two things made like for a really fun, I could pick up a camera and film my friends, and that became super accessible. And I also grew up with a younger sister who was in musical theater, and she was a performer. And I would always watch her rehearse and practice, and I would always watch her and be like, do you need to make that face? Do you have to wear that? And I could feel that I was sort of like directing her in her performance as she was practicing for something. And I think that's when I really knew that I really loved to sort of work with musicians and females especially. And I think just in my early teens, I was like, this is so cool. I felt the impact of music videos. I felt the impact of just these superstars on TV. And I just felt like I knew I wanted to be a part of that.
I love that you're part of that whole MTV vibe, because that inspired so many generations for so long. I worked for MTV for years as well, not on those shows that you're speaking about, but others. But TRL was everything.
It was everything.
Everything.
I wish we had it today.
100%. Now it's all about YouTube, and it's cool too.
That's great
But this generation is super important.
Yeah, now you can just search for your artists, and you can watch them at the tip of your fingers. And back then you had to like wait and see. And they even like had the directors credited in the bottom left corner. Oh,
and then you'd Google them and figure out who they were.
I mean, could you even do that? Was that easy back then? I don't know. I remember when AOL was around. I'm 35, so when AOL, there'd be like a music video section, and there'd be like, oh, new music videos, and it would be like some obscure artist you've never heard of, but it was just hard to find them back then.
I love it. I totally agree. Can you walk us through a typical day of a shoot day, of a day that you wake up and you got to go run those 12 hours, and then how that connects to the post-production?
Well, it's never 12 hours. I think before that, I'll actually talk about like the average sort of day of a music video director, a working video director. I mean, a lot of what my job is, or I can even speak on like a few years ago and maybe at the beginning of my career, a track will be sent to you from your rep, from the label. You take a listen to it. There's a budget. They have a rough concept of what they're looking for. Maybe you can get on the phone with management. If you're lucky, you can get on the phone with the artist, and then you start, concepting an idea. And then from there, you go ahead and you make your treatment, and that can be a lengthy process. And that's a whole other conversation, treatment writing. But I think, in terms of like the day in a life, it's a lot of like getting new music, trying to stay inspired, and obviously the song is like the biggest source of inspiration. And hopefully you book the job, hopefully that all goes well, and then you get your team together to produce the video. And from there, the shoot days, it all really depends on what the video is. I mean, this is a huge question. So this could take hours, and I'll cut us short here. But I mean, when you have your concept and you know what you're going to go in and shoot, everybody's ready. You've done your tech scout, you've done your fittings, the sets are built. That shoot day is really about, then it's my hard part is over. I've already prepped the job. I've communicated to my team what we're doing. The artist is hopefully prepared and ready to be on camera and in good spirits. And it's my job to really just guide the team and, work with the artist and make them feel comfortable. And so I can create a really fun, positive environment for them so they can have a great time on set and perform their best. Because if it's a miserable experience, if they're not having fun, if the vibes are really bad on set, if something something is just off, they're not going to perform their best and the video is going to suck because the video is all about the artist. So I think that's sort of my role on the day, is just to make sure they're good and they know what they're doing and we can execute a fun video, whatever that concept may be.
100%. It's so important that you leading the pack is in a great place and it's feeling great, because it just rolls. It's a domino effect to your entire crew. And it just flows, and everybody's happy, and you did your job. Because being a director is also, there's a lot of psychology behind that.
So much, yeah.
So
It's a lot of mind games. It's not just with the artist. It could be with, all the teams involved too, the management that comes with the artist, the glam squad that comes with the artist. Maybe there's a choreographer who has a bit of an ego. You never know what you're gonna get. And so my job as a director is to really communicate and sort of navigate all the tricky personalities to maintain that artist being in the best headspace.
100%, because all the responsibilities fall on you.
Yes.
No matter what happens on the set, it always falls on the director, no matter what.
And nobody knows what goes on set. I can't tell the audience later, oh, well, actually this happened, and that's why we don't have enough of this performance. So maybe that's why that feels a little flat. Nobody knows what happens on the day. So it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is, and you can handle the pressure, and you're doing a great job with all that pressure, girl.
It's weird. I get very zen, and I do find that the more you prepare, and I over prepare. I'm definitely very much someone who comes in with all the scenarios worked out in my head. I make sure I have I have an amazing assistant, Tatum. What's up? And we just really over prepare everything so we can be ready for anything and improvise and be flexible on the day. And because curveballs are gonna happen. Of course they're gonna happen. Something's gonna go wrong. Some truck is not gonna show up, and the crew won't get breakfast in time, and that will push your day back. And then your light is wrong for your first setup, and that was a sun-dependent light thing. It's very crazy how many things can, that have to go right, or how you handle the wrong that determine the success of the video.
100%, because things are gonna happen, guys.
They will, 100%.
No matter how much you prepared, things are going to happen because they're supposed to happen. It's the nature of the beast. So, like you say, preparation is everything. You want to make sure that on the day of, you're not solving old problems, but new ones. And that just shows how tight you are also with your producer and everybody else that's part of your team, right?
Yeah, and the first AD and your DP and your first AD are kind of they're just stuck to you. You just want them to be in your posse. For me, I like to work in a way where if something's going on with an artist or something's happening in art department, something that may be happening with me, I like to let the first AD know. The first AD runs the set. They're the ones in charge of the schedule. They're the ones who make sure we're on time. I like to make sure they're in my head completely so they can be aware of everything as well.
100%. You work with very creative artists, and your results are extremely creative. Now, when an artist comes to you and they're like, okay, this is my song and this is my idea, and you're like, okay, cool, but you also want to not lose the Hannah special sauce that comes with the results. You want to keep your trademark and keep your look. And how do you balance that? Because sometimes you'll get an artist that potentially, at least in my case, they'll come up with something they think is super innovative and super new and super everything, and you're like, dude, that's everything that's already out there. Right? So you have to be very gentle and very smart about how to navigate through that, and at the end, give them what they want, but in your version, and still be, have your look and feel. How do you?
Yeah, it's very tricky to navigate, especially because everything's art and that's so subjective, and everybody's so sensitive, and everybody takes things so personally because it's their art, directors included. But I think to what you just said, in terms of oh, maybe that idea has already been done. I think that's good to tell the artist, this has already been done. No artist wants to repeat what other people do. No artist wants to repeat themselves. And I think that's great. I think that's awesome when artists want to evolve, and they definitely don't want to do something that another artist, especially in their lane, may have already done. So I think when it comes to, collaborating with artists, it really depends on the artist and how involved they like to be. I'll give some examples here. Somebody like an Ariana, she'll have like a nugget of an idea and I'll run with it, and then we'll go in and we'll kind of work together on some of the details because she's an artist who really understands her own brand. And obviously you want to go with those gut instincts as somebody who's worked really hard to create their own brand. And then you'll have somebody like Anne-Marie, who's the artist who was on that last video we were just watching. She's somebody who's just really trusting of just like, you know what, you think of something, and then usually like we're in a really good spot. But what I never want to do is put an artist in a position where they're not into the concept or the idea, because again, if they're not feeling it, you're going to tell. You're going to tell they're not going to perform as well. And it's my job to figure out also like what's an environment for the artist where they can thrive. Like, is it like a club scene? Is it them by themselves on the beach? Is it them, do they need to interact with people right now in their career? Have they been so solo in everything they've done? Let's see them with some like group of friends and dancers and see them interact with other people so we can get to know their personality. And these are all things I love to try and sort of dissect. And like, I do like detective work, but before every video, what have they done? What do I feel like they need? Where's the hole? And what is their brand? And I really take all of that into consideration. But it really just depends, artist to artist, how much involvement they like to have, and then in what part of the process. Like when I worked with Katy Perry, she had a really strong vision for what she wanted to do idea-wise for that video with Alesso, When I'm Gone. And she had a really strong vision. I wanted to be, in like an electric plant. She wanted it to be kind of futuristic, kind of dirty. And then she really just let me do my thing, had like no notes in post, which is like unheard of for an artist.
Unheard of, guys. I repeat, unheard of.
Especially with like a beauty pop artist. So I took that as a huge compliment. But they kind of have their own part of the process that they can become most picky in. Some can be crazy picky in post, and you didn't see that on set. They were super cool, did whatever you needed to do. Yeah, let's do that concept. Yeah, I'll be there. And then you get into post, and they're just a nightmare. So it's like post meaning like editing and the final finishing of beauty and color correction and all that. So it just really depends on the artist.
And you know what? What's really, really cool is that you have repeating artists coming back to you, which means that every time you work with them, the next time you already know more, their angles, what their pet peeves are. So it's great, and they trust you.
Yeah.
So when they trust you and they're having a great time and all that together, they're like,
Yeah, really.
Calling you right
like
away.
Demi Lovato is a great example of that. I worked with her at the beginning, or not the beginning of her career. She's been in this game forever. But I worked with her on what was the first video I did for her? Cool for the Summer, and then I also did Melon Cake, which was like her latest video, and that's a very different Demi Lovato. And I also did her documentary, and I've done a lot of projects with her over the years, and so I really understand her as a person, and I think that's important for a director is to understand the artist and where they're at and which part of their career they're at, what's going on with them in the media, where are they at personally in their personal life. And there's so much to consider when working with a director because my job is to make them look amazing. I'm not trying to look amazing, And I think to answer your other question of like, how do I put my touch on it? That's going to happen. It's because I'm the one communicating to the DP. I'm the one communicating to the production designer. I'm the one in the edit. It's not, so it's like that touch is going to happen. So I'm never too worried about that. And if there's an idea that I don't like, or if it's not, the video usually doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So I'm not like signing up for something and I'm like, oh, this is so not me. There's been a couple times when I'm like, oh, we don't need to put that on the website. But, those are few and far between. And I think that, as, you grow in your career, you're like, we're not clicking. I don't think this is going to be the job for me. And why would they want to work with a director who's not a good fit for them,
Oh my God, I totally get it. And it's so important for any of you guys who are looking for a director. Sometimes you think, oh my God, this person is super cool. I want to work with her or him. But they don't have the style that you need for you. So don't get confused, because that's two completely different things. It's a complete bonus when it works out on the person is cool and you like them and they have what you need. Just be aware of that those are two completely different things, okay? When you when you present your idea, your storyboarding, what is the difference between the storyboarding that you do for a music video versus maybe a commercial or anything else that you do?
Yeah, I'm a commercial director as well. I do a lot of commercials. I've done like Pepsi and Samsung and McDonald's and Taco Bell. I've done a lot of commercials, and I've done a couple documentary projects and a couple shows, like with Demi Lovato and Casey Musgraves. And music video process, it's still kind of like the Wild West. You have to put together a treatment, which is basically a creative sales pitch of your idea with tons of photos, tons and tons of photos, which is very frustrating because nobody wants to copy anything, but everybody wants to see visuals in the treatment. So I usually, if you like to try and talk to the artist so you can get a sense of you can kind of soft pitch some things and see if they're feeling it. Usually it sparks up a conversation and it kind of gets you moving in a direction that feels good. And then, usually you just send that in, whether it's directly to the artist, to their management, to the label. They take a look at it. Maybe they have a couple changes, or maybe they don't. They're just ready to shoot. But I think with the music video process, it's much more casual. You want to just speak to the artist. I remember I did a video. I used to do a lot of videos for Lil Wayne and Future and Drake back in the day, 2012, 13. Maybe 14. And I would write those treatments differently than I would write a treatment for a female artist. You just want to sort of speak to who's going to be reading it and cater those photos to it. If you're doing a girl and she has brunette hair, make sure your photos have some brunette girls in it. Just to so they can kind of see themselves in the treatment as well. I think that's really important. I think the treatment process can be tricky. It took me a long time to figure out my sort of method to do a treatment, but it really just comes with practice. And they could look like anything. They could be 10 pages, they can be 2 pages, they can be any longer than 15 to 20 pages, then it's a little too much. But commercial treatments are usually 50 pages, 60 pages, and treatment process is definitely its own conversation.
Yeah, and storyboarding, I'm sorry, not that, but shooting on the set, so many things can change, and the decisions can happen just right there at the moment versus maybe a commercial that has more approval in different layers. We're so much more flexible when it comes to doing music videos, thankfully.
Yes, definitely more flexibility in music videos. With commercials, you have to storyboard everything out, and you have to get that shot, you have to get that shot, you have to get that shot. With music videos, you're really just making a shot list, essentially, or a setup breakdown. Okay, in this scene, we're gonna be shooting in the gym, and we have dancers, and we have this light gag. Okay, what do I want to get here? All right, I want to get some wide shots. I want to get some medium shots. I want to get some close-ups. I want to get some high-angle shots. You just roughly write it down. But I used to write down, all right, we're getting it on this lens, at this frame rate. Now, as you kind of progress, you don't need to do that many details. But yeah, it's much more flexible.
Yeah, you become more confident in yourself and your style and how to do this and your team, and that's what she means also when she doesn't do a lot of things that maybe she did when she was younger, right? Where you're super paranoid and you just don't want to miss anything. Now we are super paranoid because we want to do a better job than the last time that we did. But it's an interesting thing. Sorry, just to backpedal a little bit about a little while ago when we were talking about your style. It's really important, right, to keep to stick to what best represents you. And I love that you mentioned that, we might not be the best match together, so I'm stepping away because it's just not, it's a relationship. During the time that you're shooting with your artists and your team, it's you're all dating, you know what I mean? It's got to work out, it's got to be super nice, and then it's over. It's speed dating, right? So you want to make sure that within that time, you guys, you get what you need, they get what they need, and that you don't lose your signature, what makes you different than everybody else who's doing a music video. Now, for those students out there who might not have the budget to really do something super wow, what's your advice for the low budget, no budget student or person watching us?
Yeah,
to
you know,
still have it made.
I was thinking about this one, and then the video that played last, the Anne Marie Doja Cat video. Did you guys see that one? That was actually shot during lockdown, like peak 2020-ness. It was like, you know, they were in London, Anne Marie was in London, and Doja Cat was here in LA. That was shot on iPhones. There was no money spent except for fees, you know, like for like people hired, like myself and the editor that we worked with and a color correctionist, and maybe a couple $100 for props and whatever they were wearing. But there was no like budget. They shot that themselves on iPhones in their homes. There was no money like, oh, we're gonna have all this, you know, flair and this and that. That's a great example of what you can do. Literally, that was shot on iPhone and just a really fun, cool edit. And I think that, you know, just think about, there's so much to say on this topic of like how you can work with a no or low budget. But I do think that this industry works on favors all the time. Like, so if anybody needs something from you, do it. Say yes to everything. And then if you have something coming along, like, oh, I actually need somebody to help out and just like help me with these props so I don't lose them on the day. Like literally, they don't have to be a professional, you know, in the art, you know, department, but just somebody to like help you maintain, like, hey, can you like help me gather all this stuff or help me move all this stuff around on the day, on the shoot day? And people will say yes. People want to be a part of things. I think it's important to find people you like to work with, and they don't have to necessarily be like an amazing DP, cinematographer. They don't have to be a production designer. Just people you enjoy being around that understand your vision, and get them on board and just start to make friends in that sense of like, oh, I want to work on this project. You want to work on my project? I'll work on your project. And before you know it, you're building a network of people that you can call on. And I think that's really important, and just in trying to be as scrappy as you can. Like when I started out, I had no budgets, and I was paying for videos to be made because I was just really wanting to get some videos under my belt. And I think it's just about being really resourceful in terms of locations. And we'll talk about that more when the student winners come out. We can kind of get into that because they'll have some really good insight on what they've done too. But yeah, I think it's really about creating a good network and being scrappy and getting people to believe in you.
Guys, just do it. Don't overthink anything. Think less and do more. The minute that we start overthinking anything, even taking a shower, we didn't do it. You know what I mean? We all do it all the time. Just do it. Yes to everything, and then figure it out. Because we can get very creative under pressure.
Yeah, even if you're not like somebody who, like I used to work doing makeup as a makeup artist to meet people, to get on set, to like just broaden my network. Because me being a PA was not that exciting. Like I was more stressed out being a PA.
And it's so painful.
I was so stressed. I would like, if I had like a 4:30 a.m. call time, like an hour away, I would like not sleep the night before. It was miserable. But I was like, okay, I need to meet people and get on set and meet the industry. So I became a makeup artist. And this is, again, before YouTube and Instagram. So I went to a little school so I could like get confident. And I basically was able to use my skills as a makeup artist to get on set, to meet new people. And from there, I met the people I work with today as a director, like my producers, all of the team I work with today at my production company, London Alley. They are the people I met as a makeup artist.
You know what's really cool? Is that you became a director through the Glam Squad.
Yeah.
Through makeup. That's very unusual, right?
Yeah, it was pretty unusual. I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a makeup artist, and then I decided to be a director. I just knew for me to like meet people in the industry. And when I say industry, I mean the film industry, you know, not necessarily the music industry. I needed to just get on set, and I knew that PAing wasn't going to be the route to sort of make connections, and I was able to have creative conversations and all that. So that was my path and how I sort of got where I am.
And there's so many paths to becoming a director, right? So this is a very unusual one, and one that I love to give as an example. Because I've never met anybody who's a makeup artist who became a director.
I was also editing too. I would leave with a hard.
Yeah, you
I would
from
do
post.
makeup. Yeah, I would do makeup on set, and then I'd leave with the hard drive. Like there was many projects where I would edit for other directors, and yeah, it was just you kind of got to do what you got to do, and then from then on you meet your people.
No, and it's super cool because you now, thanks to that, you understand those those departments. You understand if somebody's makeup is not done right, if the edit's not good enough, it's whatever it is. Being able to understand all the departments on set is everything.
It really is. Especially post. Editing is very important.
100% post is a completely different animal. So I really appreciate that you have such a strong background in post-production. Because as a director, I came up through the camera department. I started shooting when I was 19. And that's it. I went through AC and blah, 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 blah. And then I was a director.
You're right next to it. You're right next to the action, watching that communication of, the actor and the talent and the director and everybody.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm a director, camera operator, editor as well. So I love to know that your background comes from two different points, makeup and then...
You really have to have a lot of trades.
So
you really
wild.
do to really make it in this industry, especially today. You really need to have a lot of tools.
Don't be afraid to learn everything. And don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have a whole bunch of baskets with a whole bunch of eggs. Okay? 100%. Yes to everything.
Yes to everything. I'm a huge believer in that. And then you'll find out that saying yes to everything doesn't really service you anymore. But yes to everything in the beginning was huge for me.
It puts you on set, and that's so important. What you learn on the set is a completely different thing. It's a completely different speed. The more you're on this, you need miles on the set, and that's super, super important. If someone wants to become a music video director, would you say it's best to get involved with music or film?
I truly believe both. I really do. I grew up playing the drums, and I was on drumline, and I was a drummer for 10 years when I was growing up. And I had that experience with that. It really helped me become an editor. Just having an understanding of music and the vocabulary of music really comes in handy when I'm working with musicians, everything. So, but I think film, it's you really want to, like it is in music, there's a whole vocabulary spoken. And I think with film, it's even scarier. And I think that the sooner you can get in there and just start to be around people who are speaking the language, the more comfortable you're going to be with everything. But yeah, I think, if you want to do it now, the point of entry is so much easier. iPhones, it's crazy. When I was starting out, I was doing the VHS stuff for a little bit, and then there was iMovie, and it was really, really lo-fi back then. But I think now the point of entry is so much easier. You can get these programs to edit, and so much easier than you could back in the day. So both.
Can you raise your hand if you are here because you are an artist? Really big. And smile so I can see your teeth. Because you're so proud of being an artist. All right, and who wants to be a filmmaker? All right, and who wants to be something else?
What is that rough something else? Just
what's
shout it
that
out.
something else?
Okay.
Aside from that.
Producer, okay. Songwriter.
Songwriter, love it. Producers. A&R.
Cool.
Oh, love it. So
Cool.
Got it. All right, so this question is a good one. What should student artists and artist managers do in preparation to working with the music video director and crew? How can they rely their vision and successfully collaborate?
I love this question because oftentimes I will get an artist who is not ready for their music video. And I think what you can do to be ready for your music video, you need to get a team together. You need to figure out what your look is. We can't necessarily be figuring it all out in the short amount of time a music video is. I mean, yes, there'll be fittings. Yes, I love to have a vision for the artist, of course. But the stronger the artist's brand is before they make a music video, the better the music video will be. And I think that really comes down to just being really disciplined, you know, as an artist and as the team around the artist. Okay, what looks good on them? What's their vibe? What do they want to say as an artist? Sort of who else is in their lane? What are people in their lane doing? Because it is good to have an understanding of what else is happening. I can't be a total, you know, I can't be totally just like cyclone by myself in what I do either. I have to kind of keep up with what other people are doing. And then also practice. Like if you're not on stage and like performing shows yet, practice in front of a mirror. Like what are you doing when you're performing those lyrics? What do you look like? Sometimes I'll get an artist and I'm like, oh my God, they've never seen themselves sing this song. And they'll do something just really weird with their mouth. And I'm like, I know they don't want to look like that. So, you know, it's really about that preparation of just kind of honing into like what the artist's brand is, practice in front of a mirror, do some tests, like what does their makeup look like this way? What does their hair look like this way? How do they look in the color pink? You know, I'm not just talking about girls. You know, okay, MGK is doing a lot of pink. Maybe you shouldn't do a lot of pink. You know, that all of these kind of things go into consideration. And I think that when it comes time to the music video portion, finding the right team, like the right collaborator, the director is really important. And then also trusting that person once you've hired them. I think a lot of times new artists and new teams will get really nitpicky. And of course, everybody has a strong vision for themselves. Artists are like, I am this person. But I'm telling you, there'll be so much friction, especially if it's low budget, if you don't trust them and you're just like micromanaging every decision they're gonna make, you're gonna lose them. You know, you need to like find that person, put your trust in them, and let them do their thing. Because if you micromanage them, they're gonna check out. They're not gonna care about the edit. They're not gonna care about post. Oh, you needed some beauty work? They won't care because maybe they didn't like you because you were micromanaging too much. It's very much a thing. Like you just really need to go in and be collaborative and understand that the person you're working with is also an artist to sort of, and then trust that process. Obviously there's checks and balances with that. You don't want a shitty video, we know that. But you know, I think a lot of new artists come in guns blazing and it's really hard to get them, you know, get them going.
Teamwork, guys. Can I see everybody smile? Super happy. Are you guys having a good time? You're the best, dude.
So fun.
Oh my God. She's everything, man. Guys, I really hope that when you guys leave this room, you're fearlessly creating and tagging us along the way. And tagging Grammy U. Because this is the place to be, dude. 100%. And I'm so excited to see what you guys are gonna do once we move forward and you guys take off and you remember this moment and everything that she said, and then you go on YouTube and you see her videos and then you get excited and you connect the dots. That's gonna be so dope. It's so good. All right, guys, now we're gonna get to what we've all been waiting for, besides Hannah and me. The Grammy U Masterclass winners. And our first winner is I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Say that again, please. Manu Beker. Woo! Manu Beker from the LA chapter. And the video, it's called, Wow, I Look Enormous. Cliche. And he's dressed really cool.
Lluvia de verano, nunca contesté. Iba de camino, me faltaban 10. Sé que sigues enojada. 2 años después. No recuerdo bien si llamé después. Y no sé por qué. Siempre estaba corriendo. Y ese café donde te conté que ya estaba bien. Y aunque tengo tengo todo faltas tú. 2 años tarde, pero creo que esa ya no eres tú. Perdón por hoy. Ya sé, soy un cliché, sin poderme disculpar, sin crecer ni madurar. Ya sé, soy un cliché, queriéndome acostumbrar a decir adiós y ya, sin preguntar. 20, cambiamos mucho, pero quiero verte. Cuéntame todo en el lugar de siempre, aunque parezca que ya nadie viene. Y la verdad todavía duele que iba en el Uber pero cancelé. Busco una vida diferente y aunque tengo todo faltas tú. 2 años tarde, pero creo que esa ya no eres tú. Perdón por hoy. Ya sé, soy un cliché, sin poderme disculpar, sin crecer ni madurar. Ya sé, soy un cliché, queriéndome acostumbrar a decir adiós y ya, sin preguntar.
Yay! Welcome, Manu.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that video is amazing.
Thank you so much.
And you look incredible.
Repping the same.
Yeah, same vibe.
same
Loved
vibes.
it. I love it. So cool. So we wanted to talk to you about your video and just sort of tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you go to school? Where are you at right now?
So I'm originally from Mexico City. I've lived there almost all my life. And then I moved to Los Angeles to attend CalArts. And yeah, CalArts represent. Got some CalArts friends there. And yeah, I'm a Latin artist. I make stuff in Spanish. And so I thought for this first music video, especially with the song title, Cliché, it would be very fitting to, and also I thought it'd be budget friendly too. Turns out it wasn't. But I really wanted to do something based on like Mexican and Latin telenovelas and the whole like quiche and like retro 90s vibe.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you definitely crushed that. It definitely had those vibes. And I feel like you had such a strong, like, quirky style to it that was really consistent throughout the whole video. That was just really fun to watch. You know, you were a really engaging artist to look at. You looked cool. I felt like your brand was really strong there, you know? And I'm looking at you now, and you seem to really fit that brand, which is great. So how did that video come about?
Well, I think both the video and what you're describing is a product of, first and foremost, teamwork. I'm the face of this right now, and I'm representing the video, but this is not me. This is me and other amazing artists that believe in me and have helped me. I think I really want to like steal this opportunity to kind of shout them out.
Yeah, go for it. Literally, we can't do this without our teams.
Literally impossible without them. And I think this video was mainly. It does depend a lot on like the visual style and the styling, which was done by Mari Marquez and Jamie Vier, who are incredible. And the set design was done by Alan Science. We had a producer, Abraham, who got us that soundstage. Guillen Narcés, who actually did all the filming and like most of the directing. But it was very much a team effort. This was a group
Totally, yeah. It's always a group effort. So how did the concept, you said the concept you wanted to kind of play into the cliches a little bit, obviously with the song title. So how did you come up with the concept in terms of executing the concept now that you kind of like, you had your idea? And I think it's really good for the audience to know because this was also like a low, no budget project, right?
Yeah, so that's sort of how the idea came about. I knew I did want to do something based on telenovelas, but I didn't know what exactly. So because we had very little budget, we were thinking, okay, so filming this in multiple locations is just not going to be feasible. So we came up with this idea of like shooting everything in one room and then turning each wall of the room into a different set that we could.
That's how you do it in soundstage shoots. I just did a video for Sweetie and her, and for the song Closer, and that was in one soundstage. And we had they didn't go to Tokyo. They didn't, they didn't go to Paris, so that's how you do it. You're doing it how you're supposed to do it. That's great.
Yeah, I think limitations breed creativity, and I think this, even though the production for this got a little bit out of hand, it definitely came about through limitation of like, what do we have to work with? The producer got us a soundstage in which he actually works on, so he was able to just kind of get us a spot.
So resourceful, yes, good.
And then just the one room turned into one stage with the 3 different color backgrounds, which became an opportunity to play with color, with vibes, with the outfits.
Yeah, no, the colors were really fun. I think the style in it is really strong and consistent and cohesive throughout the whole piece. So how did you find your team?
I think they found me. I think also through my management was like a huge part of it, but we basically, I knew before filming that video that the area in which I needed to grow the most was the visual department. I was still finding sort of a visual identity. So we hit up 2 like stylists, Jamie Veer and Mari Marquez. And
how did you find them?
I think they knew, they had worked with one of my managers through like different projects, and I saw their Instagram and I was like,
Instagram.
Yeah.
Have an Instagram of your work. That is your portfolio. I don't care if you're an A&R, you're a songwriter, you're a producer. Your Instagram is no longer your personal, website or personal site. Your Instagram is your portfolio. Remember that. Literally, it doesn't matter what part of the industry you're in. It should represent you, who you are professionally, because that's what it is these days.
No, absolutely. I literally saw their Instagram. I was like, okay, so these people are clearly amazing.
But what if you went to their Instagram and it was like a latte, a salad, no, get to the business, get to the work, right?
Well, yeah, we just met on Zoom. I told them about the project. I showed them the song, and I was lucky enough that they believed in the project, they believed in the music, and they were happy to join in. But it's, always grateful for that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it sounds like you were really resourceful. How did you find the cast in your video?
So the male lead is actually a friend of mine who's an actor. His name's Andres.
He was great.
Oh my God, yeah. We actually did arm wrestle for real, and I asked him not to do full strength because he's really strong, and the scene would have just been immediately. And then the lead actress, Mariana, she actually stars in telenovelas, much like the one we're sort of parodying in this, and she's friends with the producer. So we were it was just a lot of stars aligning for this to come through. Lots of luck and lots of asking for favors, like you said.
Yeah, it's a lot of luck usually, especially in the beginning, and it sounds like you have it, which is great. So how many days did you shoot? Was it a one-day shoot?
It was 1 day.
That's what they usually are. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. How many, what was the lead up to this? How did you handle the production design, and did you guys talk about any references?
Yeah, we met through Zoom a lot of times, because this was shot in Mexico City, which is where I'm from. But I was living in Los Angeles, I still am at the time, and we just met through Zoom a lot of times. We talked through the ideas, we had a lot of creative meetings, and then we had 1 day to set the scenic design, and then 1 day to shoot everything. It was very hectic, and I had a show the day after, rehearsals the day before, so it was just a crazy schedule, but we got it done.
Rockstar life, yep, that's awesome. That's really cool. What was the post process like, editing?
Okay, that remains a mystery to me. I think editing is the one area where I'm very much uninformed about a little bit, but we just let the director do his thing, Narcés. Like you said, I really just I trust the people that I work with. I'm lucky enough for them to want to help me, so I let them do their thing. I know they're talented, so. And Narcés just gave us like a rough cut, kind of close to the deadline, and we saw it. We gave him notes, changed up things, let him do his thing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know what I loved the choice that was made is that you guys did the credits during the song. It wasn't like after the song, it was like during it. So it made it, it kept the video short and sweet, which is so important these days. So I think that that was a really cool way to sort of tie in your narrative element there, especially with the references, like you were saying.
Thank you. I think it was a bit of like the twist of like, oh, this is like the intro sequence, but it was also brought up on through limitation because we didn't have like a full-fledged story. We didn't really know what to do. My whole team was like, Manu, like, what's the story here? And I was like, I don't know. It's like a telenovela. And then it made sense through the editing to, okay, like, we can do like the title sequence here. We have all these like slow-mo, overly dramatic shots. So it just fit nicely.
Yeah, I thought that was really clever. I thought that was really smart. And if you're doing a narrative video and you're telling a story and you're like, oh, we don't have enough story to fill this out, that's okay. You just make sure on the shoot day you get performance. That doesn't have to be during an action of like, oh, I'm doing this action and I'm singing. Do something that's just a performance setup. So you kind of have like a full pass of the song so you can like cover yourself. So you're not like stuck to this narrative and like, oh no, I don't have this coverage and now I can't finish the story. But if you have like performance, just you singing to camera or whatever, but the performance wants to be, you can have like, you can fill in these blank holes that can allow the video to, if you ever get worried about that in the future.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that set, the soundstage, was a playground for us. So we spent a lot of time cueing lights and building the set, and then afterwards it was just like, what do we do? Let's have fun. Let's pick up the phone. Maybe somebody hits me with a boom mic.
That's great. Yeah.
Lip sync.
No, that little opening setup was really cute. That was great. Anything else, Milcho?
Well, thank you. I was like,
no, sorry.
No, you guys have it. I love what's happening here. It's the dynamics are perfectly on point. Right before you're gonna, any advice for him before he steps out? We bring our next guest.
I think you have such a strong sense of style, and you really understand. I feel like you really understand who you are as an artist. I would say consistent with that for a while before you totally change something up. People need to be able to grab hold of you, So I think that you're doing great. You seem to have a real, good head on your shoulders, and you seem to really understand the process and care for the process. And I think that's a really good sign for especially somebody who's newish and they're able to just respect things that are going on around them that are just aside from themselves as the artist.
Absolutely.
Show some love, guys.
Yes, Manu.
Thank you. All right, our next guest. Dun, 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 dun. He's over there. He's so excited. All right, this is Kai from the New York chapter. Music video, Much Too High.
Sorry from the corner of my dream. In confrontation, won't assuage it. I'm giving my all for your expectations. And you know my heart's still slowing. And the hurt, I guess that's growing. Going home, but you never felt more alone, right? Don't you know you don't have to take a shot? So in love, I just hope you'll cut me off. Seasons passing in exchange for the money and the fame. You don't have to play the game, you can stop and contemplate. 21 is still the same, what a failure for your age. Hours in my cage, hope they never go to waste. Much too high to concentrate, treat my lungs with acetate now. and I will always be there waiting. If you need someone to care, but you know my heart's still slow, and the hurt I get. I took this selfie with demons, should I post it? Retrospective towards my future in the moment. I'm just too scared to step away from the comfort of my own skin. I'm not your golden motor. If I get out today, all my wings are on a charter. I'll fly into the sun, I won't be burning up. If I fall back down again, I'll be falling to the air. And I will always be there waiting. If you need someone to care, I'm just so fucked up to love you. I'm just so fucked up to be.
Testing. There we go. We're back. Well, yeah, welcome, Kai. That video is amazing.
Hello,
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Awesome. So, Kai, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Myself or my song?
Yourself.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear. I'm Kai. I'm a student at Northeastern University in Boston, and I make music, and I love it. And that's basically all you need to know about me.
That's amazing. Well, welcome. Yeah, so it was really fun to watch your video and to talk to you backstage a bit too. So how did this video come about? And I know you worked with a director, right?
Yeah, shout out my boys Orange Juice. They're in New York right now. So this video we were planning for a while. I knew that we wanted a video for this song. And it happened about like 4 or 5 months after it was supposed to, but that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, essentially it was just during the summer, we scheduled a weekend and just went everywhere, the forest, the bathroom.
And you were saying that was your friend's mom's bathroom?
Yes,
the blue
that was
tile?
my friend's mom's bathroom, and she was like going to sleep, and we were trying to be super quiet.
No, I thought the blue tile was great. You know, I think it's, especially when you're like borrowing from friends and seeing what people have, like try and find something that's not so, maybe so modern or normal, you know, try and find something that's a little more outside of the box. And I think that blue tile really made that setup.
Yeah, and my friend is like super into orchids and stuff. So I don't know if you saw in the video, I don't even know if it shows up, but there's just like orchids and like candles and stuff. But yeah, that was super last minute, kind of fell together. But yeah.
How did the concept come together and how did you work with that concept with your collaborators?
So the concept, we had the pill bottles to kind of represent addiction to love, to passion, to drugs, to whatever. And then we had the chess to kind of symbolize this idea of things being a game, things being really, you know, inconsequential in some senses. There are many moments in your life where you feel like, oh, this is not going to mean anything, you know. But yeah, just like tying those two ideas together was really fun. And my director, Ben, was really good with kind of just making sure that everything looked good on camera and I could convey those ideas and communicate those.
Yeah, and especially with some sort of more sensitive subject matter, you had to be a bit vulnerable. How did he work with you to get you in that headspace, or were you able just to go there with the song?
I feel like I'm just there 24/7.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding. For legal reasons, that's a joke. I think, yeah, I mean, whenever I'm on camera, whenever I'm just like on set, it seems like it's, I don't know, I have a very recording mindset. I'm like a recording engineer. So everything that is recorded becomes final, in a sense. It becomes permanent, forever type of thing. So whenever I'm on camera, I kind of apply that same mindset. I'm just like, okay, this is it for real. This is real, you know?
Cool. So how did some of these other locations come about, and what made you decide to kind of go this direction with some of these places? Like the forest and the living room with the computer. There's a lot going on in this video.
Yeah, there were a couple of different sets. I think Well, I tried to follow the lyrics as tightly as I could. I liked The Forest because it was kind of like, this song gave me earthy tones from the start. When I wrote it, it really made me think of the forest. It made me think of dirt and like earth. So I knew we wanted to go into the forest, and that was just one nearby. I live in the Bay Area. We shot this in the Bay Area. Yeah, shout out Bay Area. Yeah, and then we talked about the bathroom, the indoor location, that was like just my room, my studio. And then if there was anything, I used my mom's closet for the candle shot.
Love that. I love that you're so resourceful and like finding all those like little nooks and crannies of places.
Yeah, we had to try very hard to make it not look like it was just my mom's closet. We had to like crop out all the clothes while we're like shooting. It had to just be the white blank wall.
Yeah, you gotta get scrappy.
Yeah, I mean, as a recording engineer, as someone who isn't necessarily like the best at singing, I kind of learned to record by essentially making myself sound good. It's kind of like cheating, and I feel like video is like the same. You kind of make the most of what you have, and so yeah, that's kind of how I approach this.
And so who, the other guy in the video, that was the featured artist?
Yeah, shout out Sean, Soybean.
Amazing. Well, can I start to give a little feedback? Is that okay?
What'd you say?
Can I give a little feedback on the video?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think something that when I first watched it, I didn't know who that guy was. I thought he was maybe just like a character and like maybe a figment of your imagination type of character. I didn't know he was a featured artist. So I think maybe when working with like a featured artist in the future, you might want to just really solo him out a bit, or her, whoever, and make sure you give them like a moment that feels like, oh, they're the star now, they're kind of front and center, and really kind of make that clear, even within your edits. I know you may have had the footage because I saw shots of him, but give that featured artist a moment, like, okay, it's a different person now, and it was like one shot of him, and then like the next shot he was in a different outfit. And I think kind of starting out strong with like a few shots in the same look to really establish there's a new artist in the video, I think would be something that would be beneficial.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you for the advice. We were trying to, it was kind of a complicated vision that we had with him. Basically, we wanted him to portray this kind of like father family figure in the first half of the video before he started coming in and singing, just because he looks like a dad in real life. This kid's like 20. Like he's younger than me.
Dad vibes, that's great. Yeah, no, I think, if you think about like what are these music videos for? It's to showcase the talent, it's to showcase the artist. So I think always kind of keeping that. I love your shoes. Why am I just now noticing your shoes? Milcho, your shoes are great too. I'm just now noticing Milcho's shoes.
I'm sorry, my shoes?
They're amazing.
Oh, I love those shoes.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Look at these shoes.
But yeah, so I think just remembering what the goal is, like who's the artist, what is their brand, like that's a big thing we always want to try and keep in mind, right? So how can we make those people look amazing on camera? Still, you can have a narrative and get gritty with it and kind of be, mysterious about maybe who somebody is. But I think starting out strong to showcase that person, I think is you as well, is very important, the two artists.
That's incredible. And that's such a great point. I love that you brought that up. This is a perfect example of it's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have. So he was resourceful, he was creative, and it didn't stop him. He did it anyways with what he had, and now he's here today. So give it up to Kai, please. Love it. Thank you. Congratulations. And coming up next is our third and final winner, which is Saint Monet, Nashville chapter, video, In Line and In Love.
Before we meet the star of the evening, let's introduce you to our three special contestants. Contestant number 1 has a deep passion for the weather and never turns down a glass of Pinot Grigio. Born and raised in Seattle, Washington, meet Ronald Rain. Our next contestant is an independent musician from, no surprise here, Los Angeles, California. He loves the freelance life and vows to never work a 9-to-5 job. Welcome, Guy Johnson. And last, but certainly not least, contestant number 3. On his days off from saving lives as a doctor, this scholarly gentleman enjoys volunteering at his local homeless shelter and helping old folks cross the street. Please welcome, from Cleveland, Ohio, Brad Jones. Please put your hands together for Miss St. Monet.
Contestant number 1, describe your perfect date.
My perfect date would be taking my girl storm chasing through all the different states, seeing how many that big storm can cover.
Sounds wet. Contestant number 2, describe your perfect date.
I mean, I guess one of my shows or something.
Wow. Contestant number 3, describe your perfect date.
My perfect date. I think it'd be you and I walking on a beach quoting our favorite philosophers.
Wow, I love Marilyn Monroe. Next question. Do you believe in true love?
So you take the wheel, say that you've got it from here. I've got the passenger vibe. Thinking I'm in heaven, you're a 7 out of 7. Maybe that's the best that I can get. Maybe I'll regret this, but for now I'm feeling reckless. Even if it's wrong, let's pretend. I know I'm doing fine on my own, but it could be kind of fun. To fall in love with someone, falling in love. I know I'm doing fine on my own, but it could be kind of nice to fall in love with someone, falling in love. Kissing the parking lot on the hood of your car at the same shitty bar. It tastes like 2 for 1 beer, kinda nice, kinda weird. It feels like home when we're here. Thinking I'm in heaven, you're a 7 out of 7. Maybe that's the best that I can get. Maybe I'll regret this, but for now I'm feeling reckless. Even if it's wrong, let's pretend. I know I'm doing fine
give it up for Saint Monet.
Thank you so much.
Yes, okay, so Colleen, Saint Monet.
Yes.
We'll call you Saint Monet, your artist name. So tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm from Jersey. I went to Belmont and Nashville for songwriting, and I've been there 5 years. Started this artist project in 2020. Great timing. Yeah, and it's been 3 years now.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations again on this epic video, and I'm obsessed with your style. I have to admit, I was very surprised that this was your style, because I thought your style would have been like, oh, that's my look, that video, which is an important thing to consider.
Yes.
You know, like, this is really cool. That was cool too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as a new artist, like, who are you? Who are you showing? Like, how are you presenting yourself to an audience? I think that's really important, not to, because you really transformed. Like, I didn't even recognize you. So I think that's something to consider, but really epic video. So how did this come together?
Yeah, well, basically, I had written the song with my producer, John Luke, who is in the video. He's the host in the blue suit. And immediately when we wrote it, we knew that we wanted to release it. It had the 70s vibe already, and immediately I went home and I made a vision board and was like,
vision boards. I love it when an artist makes a vision board. It really is so helpful. So even if you have like a nugget of something, I want to look like this, I want to feel like this, vision boards are incredible things to share with collaborators.
Yeah, definitely. I always do that for all my music videos, and then I bring it to my director, stylist, just photographer. It's a duo named Dan and Kat Cheney. And I had the idea of the dating game and just the 70s vibe. And then, like you said, they took it and ran with it. They knew exactly what the styling would be. They had the Dive Hotel, which is where the performance shot was. It's in Nashville already, so we had that
That's
in
the one
mind.
with like the painted walls.
Yeah, that's the one where like it's the performance shot with the band and everything.
So how did you come across that location? Did you find that, or had you been there before and you remembered it and you're like, I want to shoot a video here? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, well, they had known about it, and it was becoming a thing in Nashville where like people were really starting to use it. So we were like, we gotta hop in before it's in every viewed video.
Yeah.
So yeah, we found that, and like we had 2 hours to shoot there really quick.
Well, I haven't seen that place before, so
yeah, no,
I thought that was super cool.
They have different rooms,
but that's
too.
really important to think about. Like, if you are in LA or wherever you're shooting, make sure you're not getting too repetitive. Like, if you see lots of people shooting at the same places, try and make it different.
Yeah, and then the other set, we just had a warehouse from a friend, and we built that set from scratch. And so, yeah, it was a 2-day shoot technically, and it was very quick
2-day shoot.
Time. Yeah, it was 2 days. It was split into 2 days, but really,
great though.
The one day was 12 hours, and then the other was 2 hours.
Okay,
so
yeah.
But yeah, so we had a quick turnaround time. Just Dan and Kat edited it pretty quickly, and then yeah, we released it.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank
it's
you.
a beautiful video. So what were you, as an artist stepping into this video, obviously you're a female, you're a beautiful girl, like, and we want, as we want to showcase, women beautifully with lighting and styling. So what was that process like for you getting on set and, the close-ups and everything like that? Like, how did you feel doing those?
I felt really good because I had shot a few music videos with Dan and Kat before, so I was very comfortable with them already. And, at first, it's a little nerve-wracking just, having to perform it and being like, okay, like, is my mouth weird, like you said.
Yeah.
Definitely took some time, but it was so much fun that I kind of forgot.
See, having
about
fun
it. Yeah.
makes it all come together. Like,
Yes.
if you're having a good time performing and like in the environment, it's gonna look like that on set. If you're not and you're bored or you're just like something's irritating you, that's also gonna show.
Yeah, it was definitely so much fun, and everyone in the video I knew. My manager's in there, he was the weatherman, so it was very free-flowing, and we were so sure of the concept that going into it, it made it a lot easier to kind of play around with it. Yeah.
The preparation allows you to be flexible and spontaneous on the day and see all their new, exciting, surprising things, letting those things happen.
Definitely, yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations. And I'm obsessed with this style. I want to see a video with you looking like this.
Yeah, no, it's coming soon.
I know,
even though
that jumpsuit was epic, got its own credit.
It was inspired by
So
ABBA.
happening.
I don't know if you guys have seen the ABBA jumpsuit, but it was our stylist friend just made it for us, and we were like, oh my gosh.
No, it's a very iconic look.
Yes, I still have it in my closet. I'm
No,
like,
it's a very
Yeah.
iconic look. So I thought that was really
Thank
cool that you were
you.
able to like, even on like a low budget thing, you were able to figure out, oh, this is iconic, this outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely just finding friends who wanted to help out and just be a part of it because it was a cool concept. So it definitely helped out. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I love the ABBA reference, and I love how the oldest guy sitting in the audience over there was laughing.
Yes,
'cause he
I
knows
heard
what
that.
time it is. All right, you guys Google ABBA. You go when you leave.
Yes, you
go
know.
play it in your hotel room. Guys, this has been so much fun. Yes or no? Yes or yes? I love this. I love this. Guys, I want to invite, beautiful, congratulations, my love. I would love to invite Kai and Manu back on the stage so that we can wrap this party up. Come on, louder, come on, guys.
Yes.
Over here, don't be shy. Right here in the middle. Let's go, let's go. You guys are great. One more time, please. And one more time, please.
Thank you.
And one more time, please.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. You guys have been incredible. Thank you, Grammy U. Thank you, Mastercard. Thank you, Mastercard, for making this possible. Thank you, Grammy U, for all the inspiration, for making this happen, for showing us all the talent that's out there and bringing light to this beautiful work. I want all of you guys to go out there, create, tag us, don't stop. Yes to everything. Be incredible. Be excellent. And Miss Hannah here has a podcast coming out soon.
I do have a podcast coming out very soon. We'll talk really nitty-gritty about process and the creative process. I'll be talking to celebrities and creatives alike about how they do what they do and create those viral pop culture moments. It's called Made It with HLD, coming soon.
Once again, thank you, Grammy U. Thank you, Mastercard. And see you in a second. And we all bow together.